gotta ask yourself whether reality is a dream or you a dream for reality. We're all a part of the answer to the meaning of it all. Trying to join us for the moment we call now. Rise up, join in, raise the whole vibration.
Hello, hello. It's me. I'm Michael Zinn. What does that mean? Well, I am a creative professional who loves photography and video and was producing shows for other people. Never expected to end up here on this side of the camera, yet here I am. It's been an amazing, amazing ride. And I'm super excited because I have a returning champion tonight, somebody who's been on the show before, maybe even a couple of times, and somebody who's been a part of my own kind of personal journey, just in the simplest exchanges of words and energy, things change. And it's just amazing to be aware of that, right, when it's happening. And then I think over the years we've reveled in the story of how we met and just that energy exchange in that moment many times. But anyway, it is Thursday, June 19th. I can't believe it. The year is halfway over. But remember last year how it seemed like every Thursday kept coming up and it was like, oh my God, it's Thursday, again. It seems so fast. Intentionally, I've slowed myself down. I've been able to enjoy the day, the moment, and when you enjoy the moment, it doesn't go by so fast. So I feel like it's only June. It's like it's been a while. So anyway, I want to say hello. I see some people out there. I see Jennifer Rose. Hello, Jennifer. I've been telling Jennifer about Lynne, so I'm hoping that they connect tonight. But I also want to thank Jennifer for streaming the live stream on her channels. Jennifer is a medium from the Sacred Spiral Network, where I have another show called Holding Space, and Jennifer's been on the show, and her and I also have kind of created this connection. I love how many connections you make when you have this intention. You know what I mean? You walk the earth with this intention and this energy, and then all of a sudden you start making all of these amazing connections that really feel good. They feel different. So welcome, Jennifer. Of course, welcome Tim, who is always here, the warrior himself. Thank you for being here. Ninja Kitty, I know you're out there. There you are, #live. Thank you for reminding me that right there. You see that little #live? That tickles the algorithm and helps me grow this community. More people get to see the show because YouTube or Facebook puts it in their feed and says, oh, somebody tickled me. You might want to look at this. So if you don't mind doing that, I would appreciate it. Anyway, I have been doing this ritual, opening the show, clearing the space, setting the intention for the moment with the beautiful sage, my singing bowl. And I've been taking a nice deep breath in through the nose as I listen to it ring out. And if you want to do it with me, but I'm going to do it not so much as a ritual, but just because I love to do it. This bowl, I'm so connected with it. It's actually ringing right now. Ooh. I don't know if you could hear it, but it vibrates and it responds to my voice. So here we go. Are you guys ready? Love putting it near me because I could hear it. I could feel it. So great. If you haven't experienced singing bowls, you should. It's really something amazing if they feel like they're coming from inside of you. It's just something amazing with the vibration. Arnie Layton is live. Mort Ali, welcome. I love it. Welcome to the party. All right. Well, it's 9:05. So I haven't been really babbling too much, but I did start the show nicely. Tonight's guest is very special to me. Lynn LaBorde is a woman I met years ago through another psychic medium. I believe it was Terry Leone, who said, "Hey, you've got to meet this woman. Something about me resonated with her and Lynn's vibe, and said, I'm going to connect these two." And our first conversation was really magical. It definitely made me aware that, you know, everything is connected, right? And that it also made me aware of that superpower of being able to feel two people's energies and say, hey, you should meet this person, and connect them together, and then watch the ripples that happen from that. It's really something amazing. Welcome to Ronnie. Ronnie is here. I love that, Ronnie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Mort, are you going to the Connecticut Paracon next month? I am actually not. I don't really know much about it. However, Todd Bates is going to be on my show next week, who is that EVP explorer. So maybe he will entice me. I've always been interested in paranormal. Of course, I mean, the show is about consciousness. The show is about energy, and for me, everything is energy, right? So the paranormal is just an expression of energy from a realm that's not physical. And yeah, I love it. I love that stuff. So I may go. I don't have any plans right now. I am excited. I don't know if I announced it on the show. I'm excited. In July, I am headed to Costa Rica. I have been wanting to go there for a long time. I have a few friends who do retreats, and I think I'm a little overdue, right? So I used to love to do guided meditations, and that was a part of my practice. And I started just doing, you know, my own meditations. I meditate in my own way. I found different ways to meditate through the day, right? And when I need to meditate, I center myself in whatever way that I can. But I think group meditations and more of a regimented practice will help. I feel like my muscles are out of practice, and I need to tighten up my muscles. So I'm really excited to go to this retreat. Alicia Munyan, who's been on the show, Hardy Patel, I believe he's been on the show. It's just, I'm excited. So anyway, thank you guys. Have a safe trip. I appreciate that. And Matt and Mort, you are going to the Paracon, so that's awesome. If I do go, I will see you there. Anyway, I have been letting Lynn sit in the green room long enough. Lynn is an amazing medium, healer, channeler of incredible energies, incredible souls that are ancient souls, part of source, part of the big picture. And I'm excited to be friends with her and to have watched her develop her relationship with Mary, and Sophia, and all of these amazing entities. And I'm going to bring her to the stage and let her tell you all about it. Welcome to the live stream.
Hello, darling.
Lynn LaBorde. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you. Thank you
I
so
love it.
much.
I love that answer. I
Yeah.
love that answer.
Uh-huh.
It's been a long time, but you are a returning champion. You've been here before.
Thank you.
So we've talked about consciousness, right? And I'm kind of feeling like the show needs to evolve a little bit anyway, and maybe get a little deeper into the conversations. I think my audience has taken the primer, right, and knows the basic 101 stuff. And I love the ability to have an audience that is willing to receive whatever I'm given, right? And my guests that I have on the show give a lot of interesting things, and I have a feeling it's going to be that way tonight. So you're back from some incredible traveling over in Europe. And this incredible journey. We were talking. I heard it referred to as the pre-talk, right before the show. We had the little pre-talk, and I heard you talk about this book that you've been writing and how amazing this journey is. So why don't we start with the book itself? Like, how did that start? How did that come about?
So there's the book that I wrote with Magdalene back in 2021 when Yeshua and Magdalene came to me and they said, we want you to go through a year of lessons with Mary Magdalene. Our first book together was called Channeling Magdalene, A Year of Love. And the
Beautiful.
beautiful artwork on the cover of this is by a woman named Tanya Lennings. And I saw this artwork on
Hold,
Matanya's page.
hold that up again. I made you bigger
Oh,
so that
sorry.
everybody could see. Yeah, there
So
you
this is called
beautiful.
Channeling Magdalene, A Year of Love. And it's a journey through the 365 lessons of Course in Miracles. And I brought forth her wisdom every day. And I saw this piece of art on a girlfriend's website. And I said, that's Mary Magdalene. Can I buy the painting? And I had already purchased my Hathor painting from her. And she said, I don't know. I have to check with the painting and see who it is. So she comes back and she says, it's Mary Magdalene.
Wow.
And I end up buying the painting from her. And then Yeshua comes in and he goes, I want her to do a painting of me. And I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be some huge energy. So Magdalene gets shipped to me. She lives in the Netherlands and I was living in Virginia Beach at the time. And then she starts working on a painting of Yeshua. And it was about December of 2022. And she has to go on a retreat and I go on a retreat. And Yeshua's like, the painting's not quite done. And then she finishes this painting of him and he's literally got light coming out of his hands in the painting. It's just fascinating. So that painting also comes to me in Virginia. And then I move, the house in Virginia gets sold. I end up having to come back to New York. And round about 2023, we do a trip to Egypt. And then we come back, the book gets published. And earlier this year, Matanya, the artist, she says, Magdalene wants me to paint her again. And I go, well, that's really interesting. Now, maybe it was even last year. It had to have been last year. She said, Magdalene came to me. She wants me to paint her again. And I'm like, well, I wonder why. And Magdalene and Yeshua came to me and they said, so this was the end of last year. They said, Magdalene has a book that she wants to bring forth. It's called La vie et la vérité de Marie Magdalene, which is the life and truth of Mary Magdalene. And I'm like thinking to myself, what does that mean? And Michael, I got to tell you, the stories that Magdalene has been telling me, the sharing that's happening. So I made a trip to Europe. I was there for 5 weeks. I was brought to, earlier in the year, in October, I was brought to south of France, to Marseille. And Alicia goes, we have to go to that church and then we have to go to the grotto. And, I had fallen down a flight of stairs and I could hardly move. So Alicia is my little, person making all these journeys.
Right.
And she's like, you have to come to this. You have to come to this cave. And how I got up there was just a pure miracle. All the pain in my body disappeared. Like they literally airlifted me. And Magdalene would say things like, walk this much further and hold on to this tree and ask the tree to give you the energy to walk to the next spot.
Wow.
Or stop on these rocks and ask the rocks to give you energy. Or stand on these wet leaves and ask the water to come through and give you energy. Or here was Magdalene's grotto where the water comes through and, like rinse with the water, put the water on you, take a sip of the water. And there was energy with no pain for me to make it. It took me an hour and a half, took Alicia 45 minutes, but I made it up to the grotto and Magdalene, I would just turn on my phone and she would just download whatever it was she had to say. And it was an incredible, incredible experience. So
what do you mean you turn on your phone? I'm not sure.
I turn on my phone, I turn on my notes and I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
just start, I would channel her because I
you
channel her.
you recorded yourself. Gotcha. You were
Yeah.
channeling.
Not the video, just the pure
Right.
words.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was a trip.
Amazing
It was
vibration, I'm sure.
incredible. So we have 59 recordings of her doing that. And then I left at the end of January. I was told I was going to go back. I went back again in April, but now I'm going to the grotto. I'm going to her church in St. Baume, and I'm going to the church that is Notre Dame de la Garde at the top of Marseille. And there's a statue of what everybody thinks is Mother Mary and Yeshua, but it's actually Magdalene with one of Yeshua's children.
Wow.
So there's this huge symbol of Mary Magdalene at the church at the top of the hill. And Alicia's like, we have to go to the church at the top of the hill. And I'm thinking, oh my God, we've just flown to France. We've flown to Marseille. And we get up there and all of a sudden I see Magdalene's symbol. And I'm like, what is this? And Magdalene said, this was our home base. This was our church.
Wow.
And the stories that came out. So I'll tell you one. I'm asking her.
Please.
Okay.
First of all, let me just say this. The stories that you got the story of that is an incredible story. Like what you're telling me about how you intuitively made this journey, after in your physical condition is just phenomenal. It's like, that's like amazing. So, and it's like, feels so good to hear it, it feels so good to like
I said to them, I cannot make this up without your help. And they said, don't worry, we got you.
wow.
And literally all the pain was taken from the body. It took me time to get up there, but I then went back. So that was January and December and January. But when I went back in April, I had no. So here's another crazy thing that happened. When I get to Marseille in December, Magdalene says to me, find a chiropractor. And I'm like, a chiropractor? She goes, find a chiropractor. So I Google search for a chiropractor. There's one that's like 6 minutes from me. And I look at a video of this guy. His name is Dr. Alexis Robick. And he's moving his hands on the top of someone's body, and the person's body starts undulating, like he's moving their energy. And she said, him.
Wow.
Oh, so when Alicia and I went to Marseille in October for my birthday, we were there for a day, and then we went to St. Baume for a day. I had this young taxi driver, and suddenly Yeshua and Magdalene are in the taxi with me. And Yeshua says, he is mine. And I say to Magdalene, what does that mean? And she said, he's one of the descendants. And I get goosebumps over my entire body.
Wow.
I get his business card. So then when I go to meet Alexis, the doctor, this is now December. So that was October. This is now December. And I look at Alexis and I say, do you have a connection to Mary Magdalene? And he said, yes. Why do you ask? And he speaks like broken English, but pretty well. And tall, thin, dark hair, wild hair.
Mhm.
And he said, why do you ask? And I said, because Magdalene and Yeshua, and I get goosebumps every time, they said you're one of their descendants. And he goes, yes, I know. And I'm like,
So he knew. Yeah.
and his healing is like how Yeshua heals.
Wow.
Didn't even have
So
to
so
touch
he
the
was a
body.
chiropractor, but he was also doing Reiki, like energy, or it
I
was
don't know
not
what you call it. It's not Reiki. It's some other
some sort of channeling the
spiritual shenanigans.
okay,
But
call it
he
what you will, right?
like
Call it
one
what
of
you will. It doesn't matter what it's called.
the girlfriend who came up to the grotto with me the first time, her name is also Lynne. He worked with her for 2 sessions, and she comes home and she goes, Lynne, we're staying at a condo. I found this fabulous condo in Airbnb in Marseille, literally 6 minutes from him, because it was his office that I needed to go to, right? She goes, Lynne, I can now sit cross-legged. I said, what? And Alexis, he writes you notes of what he does in the healing session. And he said, I pulled ancient guilt out of her hip. And she said, Lynne, I could not sit in lotus, and I can now sit in lotus. I'm like, what?
Wow.
So he was one of the people that literally started to take the pain out of the body. So the second time I went to the grotto, I made it up in like an hour. I cut a half an hour off, and I didn't need any help. Magdalene was still like, say hi to the tree, say hi to the rocks, touch the water.
You might
But
as
it
well anyway,
was,
right? You would probably do it anyway, right?
so then there was a third person that came to visit me in Marseille, my friend Linda. She goes and has amazing healing sessions with Alexis. And then one day she and I are walking up the street, and Magdalene says, go into this jewelry shop. And she'd been looking for some jewelry. So we go into this jewelry shop. It's a tiny little shop, long, but not very wide. And I get total goosebumps. And there's crosses and there's ankhs.
Mm.
And I look at this girl, and Yeshua goes, she is mine.
Mhm.
And she's another one of their descendants.
Wow.
And I like, the jewelry she made was out of this world gorgeous, like touched by God jewelry, just
Wow.
stunning.
Literally.
So, and then there was a fourth person. So it was a favorite restaurant. Alexis has a wife, her name is Sarah, and Sarah's like, let's go to Coquille. Coquille means shell. And they had like the most incredible shrimp and fresh fish. Like they bring you the whole fish, and then they'd cook it for you.
Nice.
And there's a girl named Magali, and she's serving us, and she goes, I remember you. You came in here, you were wearing the purple. And I just looked her in the eye, and Yeshua goes, she is mine.
Mm.
And she's another descendant. And I said, do you have a connection with Yeshua and Magdalene? She said, yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I said, would you believe me if I told you that you were one of their descendants? And she looked at me and she started to cry.
Mm.
And she said, I'll be right back. And she goes outside and she calls her mother.
Mm.
And she said, my mother had told me years ago that she was going to name me Magdalene, but she called me Magali instead.
Wow.
Like, you can't make this stuff up,
Yeah,
Michael.
that's incredible. Yeah,
So
totally.
there were all of those kind of moments. And then there
Mm.
were the
I'm getting
stories.
chills listening to that.
Babe, so get ready for this one.
Okay.
Okay. Magdalene was married before Yeshua, before she married Yeshua.
Hmm.
She had a child with this man, but the very first night that they're together, he rapes her. The wedding night, he rapes her.
Oh
She
man.
becomes pregnant, so the child is born of rape. She married Saul of Tarsus, who then became Paul. And Jennifer, I know, like, you can't make this stuff up. So Marcus is the first child. Yeshua takes Marcus on as his own. Yeshua and Magdalene she had 7 pregnancies, 2 miscarriages, had a whole bunch of children together. And then Sarah is the one that she had when they were in France. Everybody
Mm.
knows, like, Sarah, the Merovingian line.
Mm. Mm.
And, you know, like, Yeshua did not die on the cross.
Mm.
The body disappeared because they smuggled him out of the country and they all went to France.
Mm.
You know, they stayed in Rennes-le-Château.
Mm.
They were up in the grotto. And then there was a point where it was time for him to go. Before he started his teachings, Archangel Michael came into him like a walk-in. And when the crucifixion happened, Michael left, and that's why the skies went dark.
Mm.
And Yeshua just went on to live this life, and then he went over to India, and that's where his bones are actually buried.
Mhm, mhm.
But there's so much more to the story. Like, it's just
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
Magdalene was trained, how the children were trained and raised, how
Right.
pranic healing is the healing modalities that they used. I suddenly was immersed into the world of pranic healing.
Mm.
And my soul Akashic Records memories is of being his younger sister, and she was my sister-in-law.
Mhm.
So the very first time with Sarah, remember Sarah?
Yeah.
Sarah used
Sarah.
to come here and we used to do channeling together.
Mhm,
Sarah
mhm.
was the first person that I knew that channeled Yeshua live, and I was
Mm.
channeling Magdalene. And the
Mm.
very first time that Magdalene came in, she said to me, "Thank you for taking care of the children." And I just knew it was her.
Wow.
And one of my students said, why is Lynne writing these books? And what was told to the student was, she was the person that we trusted the most. She was the person that we loved. Like, Yeshua and I have these really fun conversations, and I say to him, you're my favorite. And he said, you were my favorite. And I said, you say that to everybody. He goes, yeah, but with you, I mean it.
Yeah.
Like, we crack
He's a
up.
charmer. Yeah, yeah.
Totally. I have this hat and it says, Jesus loves you, but I'm his favorite.
Yeah. That's great.
So I
Well,
have this crazy, very real relationship with them, but I ask them for help with everything, like even mundane stuff.
mhm,
So
mhm.
when it was time to make the journey to France, I said, how am I going to afford this? And they said, you're going to start, like, you're going to go to the community and you're going to ask for people to help support you. And
Mhm,
I'm like, are people going to do that? And they're like, watch and see.
mhm, mhm.
And I mean, the money that was raised, it was like $15,333.
Wow.
It's all threes when you add it up, but
Wow.
it paid for everything.
That's
Like, people
amazing.
were just so gracious and generous. Paid for the Airbnb, paid for the tickets, paid for the meals,
Wow.
paid for
Yeah.
the car rental, like
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
just extraordinary. And then I was like, I tipped like crazy. To me, it was like Monopoly
Sure.
money.
Well, I think you're in this incredible energetic flow, right? You just surrendered to it. I mean, I've watched over the years,
Mm.
not only the different things that you've experienced yourself, but
Yeah.
the community around you that you created. When I first met you, you were working out of your house. You
Yeah.
created a
The
space,
SohmaLife
the
Sanctuary. Yeah.
SohmaLife Sanctuary at your
Yeah.
house that you live at. Are you back there, by the way?
I
Or
am. It's
you are?
actually my
Cool.
mom's house,
Right. I remember. Yeah.
but I've
But that
I've
was like,
hardly been here because I've
but
been
that was
traveling
your,
so much.
yeah, but that was your humble beginnings, and you
Yeah.
were started to create community there,
Yeah.
and amazing people came through your life, right?
Oh my God.
And I think I met you actually before you met Alicia. Maybe I don't think you
Yes. No,
knew.
no, no. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
We met in 2017.
Okay.
No, maybe not. I don't know. I
It was,
thought
I
we
mean, it
met.
wasn't long
We
after
met at
we met.
Didn't we meet at Deborah LeMay's when your friend was doing the recording for Sarah? I thought I
I think it was
remember
before that. Maybe that might have been like the first time we were in
physical.
in
Yeah, I
physically.
know we had spoken before that, but that was the
Yeah,
first time
yeah, yeah,
physically we met.
yeah. I mean,
Alicia
but you met
showed up.
Alicia shortly after that. But
Yeah,
the people, I guess the point I'm making is the people that were drawn into your life
yeah,
were specifically drawn to your life, and for both parties to
yeah,
just expand exponentially.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's just
yeah,
amazing the people
yeah.
that you've grown with, and I've seen this.
It's literally been thousands of people,
Yeah,
because it was so funny on what was it, PayPal the other day. I was getting a list of all my transactions. There were like 5,782 transactions since
right.
James and I opened the door in 2017.
Wow.
And it's been
There you
it's
go.
been
Yeah.
just extraordinary.
Right.
Thousands of people, not only physically walking through the door, but the people that have been online.
Yes, you do incredible group Zooms where, like, one
30
thing that I
people in
gotta
a class. You were in that
yeah,
class.
yeah, yeah. I got to tell you, like, I know for me personally,
Yeah,
this platform right here, this format, this forum of holding space and having
yeah,
these conversations and having people just kind of in the audience, either interacting or just receiving,
yeah,
the energy, it's amazing. And then classes like that, I can remember a very specific incident in one of your classes. I think there was 16 or 17 people. We were doing an Akashic Records class, and I literally looked at every little square. I literally became like each one of them. Like there was such an energetic
Oh,
moment of reflection, right? And connection with
yeah,
17 strangers, right? Like
yeah.
you were the only one I knew. Maybe there was one person that I knew from locally, but it was all, and man, oh man, it's like when you,
But they felt like family.
yeah, when you feel that energy,
Yeah,
you start to understand what
yeah,
energy is and how it
exactly.
works, and
Oh,
and what
I love
part of
that.
you it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I
It's
say you don't trip and fall into my world.
right.
People either
Beautiful.
say, like, people are like, how come you don't advertise more? I said, Jesus brings them in. People say, Magdalene sent me, Jesus sent me, Mother Mary sent me, Hathor
Mhm.
sent me, Archangel Michael sent me. Like, I have representation. I got people out there. And what I do is just, it's so specific.
Mhm.
Do you want to open up your psychic
Mhm.
abilities? Do you
Mhm.
want to learn how to pray so that you're directly communicating with
Mhm.
God?
Mhm.
Do you
Mhm.
want to read the Akashic Records? Do you
Right.
want to learn how to get rid of trauma? Do you want to learn how to transmute, you know, pain? I myself have been on a journey of going into shame. That is
Mhm.
something that I just thought I never dealt with. But the truth is,
Mhm.
I never dealt with it because I buried it. And
Mhm.
I opened myself up to it, and I found myself journaling
Mhm.
19 pain points, things that there was so much shame around. And I
Mhm.
just let myself feel it, and I cried, and I cried for hours, just
Mhm.
letting all the grief go. And then I woke up and I was like, wow, everything seems so bright. Those moments where, like, you think someone put like the focus knob in the back of your head and and turned it, and suddenly everything just seems brighter. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So
totally.
I'm always doing my work. There's a beautiful woman named Daniela Natra that taught me how to be a mentor back in 2017.
Mhm.
And she said
Mhm.
to me, Lynn, the most important thing to do is to do your inner work.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
as
Mhm.
I've taught, I also take the classes. I've
Mhm.
practiced what it is that I teach,
Mhm.
so that, I can, and I hire people that have studied my work so they understand me from the inside out.
Mhm. 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 Absolutely.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome to be around your energy. I feel like,
Mhm.
it was always right. It was always from, like I said, the beginning conversation that we ever had. There was this incredible connection, but I feel like,
Because I've seen you. I've always seen who you were
yeah,
as
yeah,
much larger than you saw yourself.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But you also, your energy right now as compared to my memories of your energy is like so much more peaceful. Like
Yeah.
there's so much more peace,
Yeah. There is. I got rid
and
of a lot of the noise. I got rid of a lot of the distractions.
yeah.
And I went in, kingdom of heaven is within. And there was so much that was forward facing. And now I sit within myself. I'll do 30 breaths. There was a guy that used to be in Huntington by the name of Mantek Chia. And he's this very, very, very famous Korean. How would you describe him? He wrote books about male and female sexuality, but using energy, male and female sexual energy. And I was like, what was he doing in Huntington? Well, when Terry Leone comes to my house the very first time and goes, "Do you know you have portals to Atlantis in your backyard?" I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Do you know you have portals to Atlantis in your backyard? What
Yeah,
an
she goes,
awesome thing to say.
there's a woman back there that's beckoning you. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's Hathor,
Mm.
Anyway, so Mantek Chia talked about, he said the kidneys hold fear. So if you breathe chi into the kidneys 36 times and warm the kidneys, it releases any fear, any residue of fear. So I will do a meditation. I know you were talking about meditation earlier, where I'll just sit and breathe, put my hands on my kidneys, like backwards, and breathe like golden chi into my kidneys 36 times. And,
Wow.
Sometimes I'm on 18 and then I'll start thinking about something and I'll go, oh, no, get back to it. Okay.
Right.
19, 20. So, it takes discipline, but
Yeah, for sure.
everything is frequency. So here's my latest class that's coming up. It's called In the Beginning Was the Word, the Power of Prayer.
Okay.
In the beginning was the Word. The most important thing we have in our life is our word. When we give our word to something, there's a ball of light that's waiting for us to receive when we keep our promises, when we keep our word. If we don't keep our word, what happens is that same energy goes into a little husk. It looks like a corn husk, and it attaches itself to us. So if we have broken promises, we get heavy laden and weighed down with all these broken promises. And you can either mikvah or you can roll naked in the snow 108 times. Pick your poison. To cleanse, right? This is what the Kabbalists teach. But when you give your word to something, like people, you have a reputation. Like I've always said, you can come at me, like I can take care of myself, but
Sure.
leave my business alone. Like my business is my baby, right? People are known by their reputation. And I have this precious, precious friend named Jennifer. She was one of the original four. Jennifer and Hector and James and I started Soma back in 2017. And she said, Lynn, I was at this meeting and people were like, oh, have you heard about Soma? Oh, yeah, it was really great. I got to go to, I went to the sanctuary. I went to a meeting there. That place, she said, Lynn, I was beaming, just beaming. And Soma's now online. The only thing I do is I'll have Reverend Dan come and do the Melchizedek ordinations.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to put it. You keep going. I'm going to put it in the banner down below so people can know where.
So Alicia, at one point we kind of turned to the left and we called it Soul Master University. And I said to Alicia just recently, I want my SohmaLife website back. So we're just about to relaunch the new SohmaLife website. But
oh wow,
between TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, I have a reach of about 25,000 people.
Awesome.
And I'm just literally every day we're going into the Magdalene book. We're reading from the Essene Book of Days. So the Essenes were the community that Yeshua and Magdalene, grew up in. And
that's funny. I was specifically going to ask you to tell my audience what the Essene
oh my God,
culture was. Yeah.
So the Essenes were these beings that showed up about 90 years before Yeshua came, and they started to build the community. Like they were able to grow fruits and vegetables in the desert because they knew how to work with the angel of water, the angel of air, the angel of fire, and the angel of earth. And it was like the mystical science of life on earth and how they revered the heavenly mother and the seven angels, the earthly mother, seven angels of the earthly mother, and then the seven angels of the heavenly father. And between those 14, they're like rungs on a ladder that you climb to ascend to heaven, but you can't get to the Father except through the mother. But unfortunately, some of the things that happened was they took out, so if you read the Essene Gospel of Peace, they took out all the rungs of the ladder that were about the earthly mother. So you actually couldn't get to heaven. They focused on the Heavenly Father, but you have to be able to honor all of the aspects of the earthly mother because she's what we're made up of. We're
Mm-hmm.
made up of everything that she is. You have to learn how to talk to trees and talk to plants and
Yeah.
talk to rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to learn how to have a deep respect and reverence for all of that in
Mm-hmm.
order to then get to. So the earthly mother happens during the day, and then the heavenly father is night. So today is Thursday, June 19th, and the evening focus is the angel of wisdom. And the blessing for the evening is this is the season of searching outside me to discover the teachers who know.
Mm-hmm.
But deep within me, I must remember when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When I
Mm-hmm.
ask the right questions, answers are always there, for my teachers are everywhere. And, you can ask a tree, are you a male tree or a female tree? Do you have a message for me? When I lead people on a guided meditation, I will take them into the forest of spirit, into their garden of spirit. And in the forest of spirit is their tree of life, this
Mm-hmm.
huge, gorgeous tree with incredible roots that go deep, and this trunk and the limbs, and then the branches and the leaves. And the leaves are where our Akashic records are kept. And when you go to your tree of life, you embrace this tree. She literally moves her branches down to embrace you, and you can give her any issues that you have. And through this beautiful process of spiritual photosynthesis, she absorbs the darkness from you. She
Mm-hmm.
turns it into light, and she'll answer any question that you have.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I
it's really
love that.
gorgeous.
I love that. I feel like I have so many questions I wanted to ask as you were talking.
Okay,
So let's go back a little bit,
sure,
and then
sure.
maybe we can, if you feel like bringing somebody through.
Yeah,
Um, but
yeah.
you talked about Yeshua a lot, and you talked about almost like this lineage journey, right? Like the journey of the stories of Magdalene and Yeshua.
Mhm.
So the first question I had actually was, you talked about this woman who made the paintings for you,
Yeah.
and you said Yeshua said, I want her to make a painting of me.
Hmm.
Did Yeshua say that to you, and then
Hmm.
you had to commission her to make a painting?
Hmm.
So Yeshua actually commissioned the painting through you.
Hmm.
That's freaking awesome. I love that.
The first painting was $3,333. That was
Oh my
Hathor.
goodness.
The second painting was Magdalene. That was 5,555. Yeshua was 7,777. Then I
Wow.
bought a painting of Venus from her that was 9,999. And just
Holy
as it was
moly.
about to be shipped to me, I ended up sending it to my mentor because Venus said, "Ship me to Melanie." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" And then I just got this one of Sahaniel, who's my higher self. And Matanya just started her 29th painting. But for over 20 of them, I've been instrumental. She had and I have this extraordinary relationship where
Wow.
we are like, she's like, I'm going to show you're the first person I'm showing the painting to.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I have all these beautiful prayer cards, and I have a poster. Michael, I'm going to grab this poster because I'm being
Yeah,
told to
let's see it.
show it to you. This
Yes,
is
see it.
this is the second. Oh yeah, man, nobody's seen this publicly yet. So this is the second painting of Magdalene that's going to be the cover of the book.
Awesome.
La vie et la vérité de Marie Magdalene. So here, let me show you this. Yeah, she just told me to show you. Oh, I'm so excited to show you this.
Awesome.
This is incredible. So the painting itself, she's selling that painting for 22,222. So
Nice.
one day she comes to me and she goes, "What is this?" And I go, "Oh, that's the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. Here, let me pull out my 9 books about it."
Mhm.
So this is the painting that she ended up doing
Wow.
of Magdalene. Look at this.
Mm.
And I don't know if you can see,
Amazing.
but there are
Yeah. Hebrew
Hebrew
letters. Yeah.
letters.
Yeah.
And then
And I
she
think,
put the Yud, the
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
the Vav, and the Hey in the 4 corners.
Yeah.
Then there sits the rose, and it sits in Yesod. And it's just so her name is in the Hebrew letters, and then there's light language in gold. So
Wow.
this is one of the lithographs.
That's
Isn't that
awesome.
stunning? So this will be the
So
book.
beautiful. Yeah.
This will be the copy of the second book. Look at her eyes. Look at
Wow.
like that wisdom.
That's amazing.
It's like
Yeah.
Sophia coming through her. So
Cool. Love that.
yeah, this is the first time I've shown that publicly. Anyway, it's going to be incredible.
I love that. So Angelo is asking, tell me about the 12 steps Jesus took.
The 12 steps Jesus took?
Yeah. I'm not sure what that refers
I
to.
don't I don't know what that refers to.
All right. Well,
When listen, when they channel through me, this is why Jesus channels through about
mhm.
2,000 different people. He's using the database of a person, certain person's Akashic records.
Mm,
So, I don't know what that is.
mhm.
I don't know how to
Okay.
answer that question.
No,
Sorry.
no worries. No worries. Um, that's awesome. So I guess I want to talk about channeling because I'm trying to remember if that was something that you did when I met you or if that was something that kind of happened after.
The channeling journey began in 20. I was secretly channeling
Mm,
when you and I first met. So that wasn't
mm,
anything that's public. I've
something
since
like
now channeled 20 different ascended masters, and all that
that.
is up on my YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Um, like recently, not recently, maybe, I don't know, a year or so ago, Galandriel, the Queen of the Fairies, came to me.
Mm,
And then one day, Matanya says, I'm painting the Queen of the Fairies. She told me her name, but I don't remember. And I said, Galandriel. And she's like, yeah, how do you know that? And I said, I channeled her.
mm,
And she just finished that painting. It's absolutely
mhm,
stunning. But the prayer cards carry the same frequency as the paintings, and so do the lithos, and so does the book cover.
mhm.
So her gift to me has been giving me the paintings for both books.
So I feel like I feel like a question coming to me, right?
Okay.
And it's interesting, and I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it exactly right.
Okay.
But I guess my question is, what role? There's two parts to this.
Hmm.
What role do you feel like imagination plays in what you do? And what I
Yeah.
mean by that is, how would you define imagination and its place in
Sure.
realms, in
So
the idea
when
of realms? And yeah.
there's frequencies, so there's the beta frequency, the alpha frequency, the theta frequency, the delta frequency.
Mhm,
And the realm of imagination is the realm of theta. It's the quantum realm. So when we were very young and we had the imaginary friends, you see the videos of the kid going, Jesus or grandpa or, whoever. And everyone goes, no, 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 that's just your imagination. We were actually brainwashed out of theta into alpha and then into beta.
mhm,
We were
mhm,
told reading, writing, and arithmetic. We weren't told to color. We weren't raised in the Maria Montessori type schools or the Waldorf schools. We weren't taught to let our imagination go. We weren't taught to be able to have access to
right.
the quantum realm. We were taught you can't talk to God. Only a priest can talk to God.
Mhm,
You
mhm,
know,
mhm,
and then
mhm,
they suddenly the psychics and the mediums were witches and had to be burned.
mhm,
So
mhm.
imagination is more real than what we know as our physical reality, is my understanding and my experience. Because when I
Well,
connect, like there's an incredible channel. His name is J.M. Hammer, and he wrote a series of books that's called The Pathway of Mastery.
mhm,
And
mhm,
he said he was sitting in his living room one day. No, he's getting ready to go to work. He literally had his briefcase in his hand. He was dressed for work, and he suddenly felt compelled to sit down and start to meditate. Golden
mhm,
shaft of light opens up in his living room, and Jesus walks through, and he says, "Brother, it's our time." And he said that he remembered he'd had this dream years before during a meditation where he saw Jesus on the side of the road, and Jesus looked at him and he said, "It's not our time yet."
mm,
And then they started this 3-year journey where he would meet with a group of people. He would go deeply, deeply, deeply unconscious. Yeshua would come forth and he'd start calling people by name and telling them things about their lives.
wow.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. But he, like Jean-Marc, or JM as he calls himself, he would meditate for like 5 to 8 hours a day.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
I go unconscious, but I'm not that, like, that isn't my practice.
Right.
So Yeshua uses me for what he can use me for, and
Mhm,
he uses
mhm.
other people for what he can use other people for, you
Right.
know?
Right. Yeah,
So
Lynn, you.
imagination plays a huge part in it because it's where we actually go and meet our higher self and our
Yeah, yeah.
soul.
I love. That was exactly the answer I was looking for, and that was what I would have said, and I really kind of
Yeah.
just felt like I wanted my audience to hear that, because I
Hmm.
think it's you know, we don't understand the word imagination, and we do and we don't. And here's what I mean. You know, when a kid is growing up and they have an imaginary friend, oh, you imagine that, like you said,
Yeah.
like that's realer than the physical, right? And
Yeah.
and
The kid's
and you
looking up at the
also,
light
yeah,
and
you
sees.
also connected creativity to it, right? With
Yeah.
the idea
Yeah.
of using your imagination to create, right? And that is channeling. That is
Yeah.
something that we can all do and start with, as far as connecting
Sure.
to the idea, like, oh my goodness, I'm connecting to something, something's coming through, and it's coming
Yeah.
through me,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Well, think about
creativity
it.
is that.
We're channeling our higher selves.
Yeah.
Like we're in a physical body. So first there's spiritual, then there's mental, then there's emotional, then there's physical. So the desire comes in spiritually.
Hmm.
The desire is actually given to us from God,
Hmm.
you know, Father, Mother, God, Source, Creator, you know,
Hmm.
Master of the Universe, like
Hmm.
whatever you want to call it. Every single one of us has the ability to communicate directly to Source. You
Hmm.
know, getting
Yeah.
getting closer to God is us engaging in a conversation.
Hmm.
Imagination to create through manifestation, right?
Yeah.
So first there's desire, then there's an intention, which happens in the mind. I intend for this to manifest, the right use
Hmm.
of will.
Hmm.
Then you
Hmm.
go into the emotional body, and emotions are energy in motion. So what
Hmm.
you're doing is you're saying, I'm going to have this desire with the intention for it to manifest. I'm going to bring it into the emotional body where we begin to allow it to manifest. And
Hmm.
then you have acceptance, which is the physical realm. And
Hmm.
if you've accepted and it matches what your desire is, your paradigm matrix for manifestation is clear. But if for
Hmm.
some reason it's janky, you know, somewhere there's a breakdown in that whole process.
Yeah. Totally. Thank you for answering that and understanding where it was coming from. Um,
You're welcome.
so I would actually, not not being selfish, but having not seen you in a long time, I would love a message um, from Yeshua or Magdalene or whoever is feeling
You know
like
who's been around lately has been Sophia.
okay,
And Sophia is the
introduce me.
divine feminine principle that
Mm,
was here before Earth was even formed.
mm, okay.
Magdalene is here. Yeshua is here. Let me see who. All right. Magdalene's stepping forth. So there's a little breathing that I have to do to get myself out of beta into alpha into theta. So give me a
Okay.
minute to do that. And
No
then I'll
worries.
bring her forth.
Take your time.
Mm, mm, mm. Greetings, beloved one. It is our
Hello.
delight to be with you. We thank you for this invitation. We welcome all souls who will attune to this frequency to be in communion and communication with us. Beloved, you and Sahana Grace, which is the name that this beloved oracle has chosen for herself, for us to interact with her, so that the egoic personality is not pulled forth during this conversation. She has known and loved your beingness for many, many incarnations. She says that she sees you and she knows you and understand that you two have indeed been friends for many cycles of not only this frequency of what is now known as beloved Gaia, but understand that you two have known one another from what would be through the portal of Sirius, through to Arcturus, and there is even several incarnational cycles where you have known each other from Polaris and from Lyra. So there is indeed a friendship that has always been between the two of you. This is indeed something that you can rely upon from her. Beloved, we know that you have queries and questions that you would like to ask, so please do so and allow us to be of assistance to you.
I don't feel like I have a question, although I do. That was very intense, what you just said. And as you were speaking, I was feeling trembling and physical response. So
the memories were being activated, beloved, and what you were feeling was the response from the field of the Akash as they were being brought forth.
Yeah. It made me
Your
feel very
mother.
happy.
Your mother, beloved one, is coming forth. What questions do you have for us regarding her?
Does my mother... Does she understand? I feel like I know the answer as I ask. I guess the question is this: how can I get my mother to recognize the part of her that lives from the heart as opposed to the part that lives from the ego?
Beloved, we would like to recommend, to suggest to you that every time that you interact with her, you do so from your heart. There is a place where the two of you still engage in what you would call mother-son egoic dynamics. But if you can forgive her for all that you have ever wanted her to provide to you, and you can begin to provide to her exactly what it is that you want, you can interact with her from a place of pure heart. You can give and grant to her what it is that she feels that she has not received. You will see such a remarkable transformation in that very relationship that it will lend itself to any other female dynamic that you have with the various women of import in your life. You must understand, beloved, that when you all pray for what it is that you want to occur for another, you are granting that to them. You are giving that to them. And as you pray for their well-being, you pray for their happiness, and you interact with them from a place of pure, unmitigated love, that is what will be returned to you from Source itself. When there is something that you want from another and you want them to change, beloved, you must change that within yourself first. So if you approach and gratitude, you will find that she will flourish before your very eyes. When you water her, when you provide her with sunlight, when you thank her, when you have nothing but gratitude for her, watch the transformation occur.
Mm. Mhm.
It
Mhm.
is one of the most important relationships that you have in this incarnational cycle.
Mhm.
And when you bless this relationship with your heart, love, you will find that you too will begin to flourish.
Mhm.
Do not look
Mhm.
upon her and see that there is anything wrong. Find what is right in her. Find
Mhm.
what is good in her. Find what is precious in her through
Mhm.
every interaction and watch her. Watch her manifest
Mhm.
a relationship between the two of you that will,
Mhm.
as we like to say, blow your mind.
Mhm. Thank you. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me, and I've been doing that, and I've been doing exactly that, and I have actually been witnessing exactly what you're saying. Our relationship has always been there, and it is a matter of me just coming from the heart, and I
Indeed.
yeah, yeah.
Indeed. She is there as one of the most profound mirrors for you. And
Mm.
when she comes with criticism of anything, understand that it comes from a place of fear. But if you can assure her that there is naught but love that you have for her, there is
Mhm.
naught but love for her to experience, there is nothing that could ever, and no one that could ever take you away from her,
Mm.
she will begin to relax.
Mm. Wonderful.
Indeed.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
Indeed. Indeed. Indeed, beloved. Know that we are always with you. We are assigned to you, beloved one.
Mm.
We thank you for the conversations that you have. We thank you for the consciousness that you bring to others through this program and through other avenues. We thank you for who you are, the man that you are in the world. We are grateful for you indeed, beloved one.
Mm. That makes me feel so much gratitude for that. Thank you.
Indeed, precious one. We will now relinquish the body. We thank you for this invitation, and
Mm.
indeed we shall speak with you again.
I can't wait.
Oh,
Mm.
I need some water. There we go. So that is Magdalene.
I love it.
I- I'm telling you, when Yeshua said to me, she went from being my student to being my teacher and became the greatest living
Mm.
embodiment of what it is to be a Christed being. And
Mm.
she's not a wallflower. She's literally the one that he turned his lineage over to. She's so
Mm.
strong. She's
Mm.
incredible.
Incredible. Totally. I love it. I would love to have you back again and maybe even specifically talk about that, right? Maybe we can talk about, kind of educate people about what the lineage was, and maybe people will relate
Yeah.
to some part of that story, right? Because you keep finding them, right? Everywhere you travel, you're finding descendants. I mean, maybe somebody
Listen,
will just,
here's the most incredible thing. I found her full gospel in French in the Akashic Records.
wow,
And it's going to get translated to English and it's going to be in the book.
amazing, amazing.
This book,
Um,
I'm either going to get in a lot of trouble. I'm like, it's going to be like Salman Rushdie, where everybody wanted him dead for what he
you know
published.
what?
I'm like,
I can't even imagine. It's like, for me, I'm going to say this. For me, when I witness somebody like you, there are people who I can see, right? You said you see me. There are people who I can see that are just so in touch with themselves and who they are and why they're here, you know what I mean, and what they're supposed to be doing, because they do it with so much love and authenticity. And it's like an aura, it's like this energy ball around them. It's
thank you.
amazing. And I love
I am as God created me,
it.
like If I have no tattoos, Michael, but if I did, it would be like I'd have it on the inside of my wrist. It would be like truth and freedom. Freedom is my battle cry, and like I can only speak the truth. Like that's how God made me, you know.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Anyway, thank you
Oh,
for
you got me
this.
all emotional, but thank you. I appreciate you
You're
bringing
welcome.
Magdalene through and
You are so
being the
welcome.
wonderful woman that you are and the
Thank you,
wonderful
babe.
friend that you are. Thank you so much.
I love you. It's been my honor, my absolute pleasure.
I don't think you've been on Holding Space, have you? Were you on Holding Space, or maybe
No,
you weren't?
it was one a couple of years ago that
It
we
was
did.
it was the live stream. Okay. Well, I have this
Yes.
other show. I will talk to you after this, and we'll get you
Okay.
on the schedule because
Okay.
the Sacred Spiral Network has such an amazing audience that
Oh,
is so
beautiful.
receptive to all of
Beautiful.
this, and it's just amazing to be able to
Cool.
hold space and do that show. So I will
Beautiful.
definitely invite you back. Thank you.
I have a master class that's coming up next Friday, and it's called "In the Beginning Was the Word," and it's just talking about the power of prayer. And I'm like right now, my whole series is like I'm back in my Kabbalah studies. Just got back from Israel. Oh my God, Michael, Yeshua said to me, "You have to leave on Monday," and I had to buy another ticket to get out of there. And he's like, "You have to leave."
Mm,
And then the bombing starts, and like I cried my eyes out for days. My friends were stuck in stairwells; they couldn't get
mm.
out.
Oh my goodness.
And it's like I had to experience the pain, and then I was like, "Why am I feeling so ashamed?" And it was like, here I am traipsing around the world and, you know, eating caviar and drinking champagne in Paris. And, there's
Mhm.
people that are being bombed. And the hotel where we were in Tel Aviv actually got bombed after we had left it. It was
Oh
like, by
my
the grace of
goodness.
God, like just, I'm like, oh my God, what about that person I loved at the front desk? Is she okay? Like
Mm,
the people that touch your heart and
mm,
you don't know if you'll ever see them again.
mm.
So I take nothing for granted. I am so grateful for the life I get to live my soul purpose. My whole purpose in life was to remind people their relationship with God, and I get to live that every day of my life.
I love
You're
that.
so welcome, Mort.
I love
You're
that.
so
Yeah.
welcome. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me here, baby. I
Oh,
I
you're
look
welcome.
forward to doing more.
Yes, I can't wait.
Sure.
I can't wait. And like I said, on Tuesday on Holding Space, I've got Todd Bates, who's the EVP Explorer over at the Sacred Spiral Network. And I guess
Beautiful.
that's where I'll see you guys next. Oh, I do have somebody lined up next week for TLOC. Let me open up my calendar here and look at what I'm looking at here next. Erin Soniva. Oh, so Erin is a friend of Lara Starr, who is another amazing. Um, do you know what a psychopomp is? So a psychopomp is somebody who helps entities who are trapped here
Mm.
move on.
I do that. I actually teach that. You learned that technique from me. We
Uh,
called it holodyne handling, remember?
yes, I do. I do. Right. And I've been just like, I think that's the thing about me, right? And why I do the show is because I hear about these things, but all expressed in
Yeah.
different kind of
Sure.
modalities, right?
Listen,
But
there's many pathways to get
yeah,
there, but
yeah,
I love that. Listen, they get trapped,
yeah,
and anyone that can move them on and do it with love and grace,
yeah.
I honor that.
That's
You know,
great. And actually, you were talking about that earlier with the corn husk and the energy that
the
gets attached
klipo,
to
right?
you.
Those
Right?
little energy
Yeah,
husks.
yeah, and
Yep,
that's like it's not a spirit, but it's an intention, right? That you a
yep,
promise that you made that you broke.
yep.
It's like
It's a promise we made
so
to God, and I'm telling you,
so so powerful.
you got to keep your promises to God, man. You just
Yeah,
you either don't make the promise or do
right.
whatever it takes to make it happen.
I love it. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then God rewards you like crazy.
All right, Lynn. Well, thank you again. And thank you
Thank
to
you.
everybody for being here. Another great show on the live stream. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Peace.
This is the theme song for the live stream of consciousness. You gotta ask yourself whether reality is a dream or you are dreaming.